Hey, sorry for the very unsophisticated intro. I know the most videos start with dramatic violence, NASA quality drone shots. I start with whistling like a pedestrian who's lost and is super drunk. But good news, today's topic doesn't need Hollywood drama because the real story is pretty intense enough. Let's time travel back to 1800s, a magical era where everything could just kill you. Yeah, basically the entire world was Australia back in the day. Yeah. A scratch could kill you. A childbirth had like 1 in 10 fatality rate. Surgery was like a horror movie performed by butchers with whiskey. Yeah, and they drank those whiskey. Those were not for you. It was for them to drink. Yeah. So imagine telling your friend, "Hey, I'm going to the dentist, but if I don't come back, tell my wife I'll love her." Yeah. She probably thinks that you ran away, but yeah, I know you're dead, but she doesn't know that. In 1900, pneumonia, diarrhea, and tuberculosis were the top killers. All the common factor, the common factor that linked all of it. What was that? They were all bacterial infections. So, the expectancy of a human being was just 47 years. Now we have Twitch streamers of 47 years old who are 47 years old. So, yeah, very weird times we are living in, but you sort of have to be glad that you're living right now, not back in the day, because you don't want to go to a dentist worrying that you would never come back. In 1928, Alexander Fleming left his lab messy, which for once saved humanity instead of annoying his co-workers. If I leave my desk empty, like, they would click a picture and put it on the WhatsApp group. So I think he had a very good co-workers who didn't particularly care whether he left his desk messy or not. So he returned to find a mold, that is Penicillin, had killed bacteria on a petri dish. The world's first antibiotic discovered by accident, meaning every messy person now claims to be a scientific genius. I am one. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Penicillin was mass-produced during World War II and reduced soldier death rates from infections by over 80%. It was such a miracle, doctors called it the wonder drug. Yeah, it was truly majestic, one of the greatest creations of humanity, because it saved humanity. Between 1940 and 1960, scientists discovered many things that I cannot pronounce apparently. 40 plus new antibiotic classes. The 1950s were basically the Marvel Cinematic Universe of medicine. Blockbuster antibiotic after blockbuster antibiotic. Life expectancy skyrocketed to 78 plus years. Yeah. Epstein didn't kill himself. Surgery actually became very safe for the first time in humanity history. Dentistry stopped being torture. Childbirth became survivable. Infections became routine instead of catastrophic. Then the bacteria fought back, because like anything, there are sequels to good things. Sequels ruin a good movie. That's exactly what's happening right now. Bacteria evolved in oceans long before dinosaurs existed. Yeah, you heard it right. Bacteria have been here on Earth much before the dinosaurs. So they have had like 3.5 billion years of practice. So that's a long time. So now you may ask, what are the mechanisms of antibiotic resistance? Number 1, mutation. Random DNA changes makes them immune. It's like rolling dice until you get exactly the combination that ruins your opponent's day. Yeah, in this case, it's humanity. Our days are ruined. Horizontal gene transfer. Bacteria literally share resistance genes with each other. bacteria can transfer genes to completely different species. Oh yeah, that's superpower, alright. Yeah. This is the microscopic equivalent of I studied hard for the exam, but my friend just airdropped me the answers. Yeah. Wow. Biofilms. Communities of bacteria protected by slimy layers. Fact. Biofilms can be like 1,000 plus more resistant to antibiotics. These are all very, very scary stuff. So next it's efflux pumps. So bacteria install microscopic pumps that inject antibiotics like toxic trash. Imagine a nightclub bouncer throwing out unwanted customers, except the customers are antibiotics. Yeah. You're pretty much ruined at that point, because you are the things that are supposed to protect you are getting out of the party, and now you're vulnerable to all sorts of things. So yeah, your boyfriend just dissed you in a very sketchy place. Yeah. Choose your partner carefully. Now you may ask, how did we let this happen? How did we give a chance for bacteria to make a comeback? Yeah, it all comes down to human misuse. Up to 50% of antibiotic prescriptions are unnecessary. So, yeah, you heard it right. 50% of all antibiotic prescriptions are unnecessary. Yeah, we are giving antibiotics for viral infections and stopping courses early. Yeah, we are stopping courses early because we think we have already won, and we are sharing medications and using leftovers. For anyone who's still wondering, yeah, antibiotics doesn't work on viral infections. It's like trying to kill Thanos but with a spoon that you got from your grandma or something. It doesn't work. And the second one is, well, agricultural abuse. 70 to 80% of total antibiotic consumption in countries like the US and India goes to livestock. Yeah, you may ask, are animals going to the pharmacy and asking for antibiotics? No. That's not what's happening. I'm pretty sure if animals had that ability, they would be much more reasonable and smart about how they are using antibiotics. But we humans are definitely not that smart. So we're giving it to them so they can grow faster. Yes. We make chicken turn into turkey. yeah, not really smart now that you think about it. Yeah, so we're basically doomed because we're injecting things to animal that will make them swollen and grow faster so that we can yield more profit. Very, very, very capitalistic. But yeah, we live in capitalism, so yeah, there's not much saying there. And the third one is like hospitals. Yeah, 1 in 31 hospitalized patients in the US gets a hospital-acquired infection. Now you may ask why that happens, because, well, high antibiotic use plus high exposure equals to a training ground for superbugs. Basically, you are having a summer camp for superbugs, a military training ground, to better word it. Oh God, we're having military training grounds for these little fuckers. Yeah, very, very smart humans, very smart. So the fourth one being environmental contamination. Antibiotics, they leak into rivers, soils, sewage, drinking water, creating constant pressure for bacteria to evolve. When antibiotics reach rivers in India or China, resistance genes spread globally in months. Now we're coming to the Hall of Fame. Yes, we have a Hall of Fame for all the superbugs of the world. So our first candidate for a Hall of Fame for superbugs is MRSA. Trust me, I tried pronouncing it like in its entirety, but I failed like multiple times. So I'm just gonna show you on the screen. So if you can read it out, yeah, good for you. You're a lot smarter than me. So it was first discovered in 1961. Well, it's still causing deaths. Still causing thousands of deaths yearly. Survives on surfaces for weeks. MRSA is like the Terminator of bacteria. Polite enough to knock, but unstoppable ones inside. So yeah. And we have our second Hall of Fame, that is CRE. Yeah, once again I cannot pronounce because I'm not smart enough. So yeah, make fun of me all you want. Yeah. Nearly untreatable because it has 40 to 50% mortality rate. Produces enzymes that destroy antibiotics. CRA is so scary. Yeah, it is scary. The scientists describe it using phrases usually reserved for horror movies. Yeah, so yeah, when they look into these bacteria in those microscopes, yeah, they see Freddy Krueger. Yeah, basically that's what they are saying. Yeah. Drug-resistant TB. Yeah, if this wasn't scary enough, I don't know what it is, but yeah, drug-resistant TB. So, TB kills more people annually than HIV. Drug-resistant TB requires 2 years of treatment with drug-resistant TB requires 2 years of treatment with toxic drugs. TB is the original superbug, old, stubborn, and well, it's now way too comfortable for its sake. Yeah, don't be so comfortable, you tiny little fucker. Gonorrhea. Yeah, it's drug resistant now. Strains now resist nearly all antibiotics. Imagine catching something and the doctor says we have run out of ideas. Not great at all. I hope you never hear it. Candida auris. Yeah, I hope I pronounced it right. At least I had to pronounce one right for my sake, for my self-confidence sake. Now this is a fungal one and it survives on hospital surfaces, can cause outbreaks, impossible to fully clean. Wow. The post-antibiotic future. If antibiotics fail, modern medicine unravels. 1.3 million deaths annually directly from resistant infections, could reach 10 million per year by 2050, costing the world economy 100 trillion over decades. That's not a doomsday prophecy, that's math, that's just statistics. Examples of risks, well, C-sections become dangerous. For anybody who's not aware of C-sections, it's where they make an opening in your stomach and they bring out a new little guy from a woman, they bring out a tiny little guy out of some woman's womb. Yeah, it's pretty scary. Yeah, childbirth is scary. Yeah. Chemotherapy becomes deadly, organ transplants impossible, dental procedures risky, scratches, they become life-threatening. Basically, the 1800s want their mortality rate back. Yeah. Now, the bacteria have fought back. Yeah. So, what humans do best, we do the best. What we do the best is to fight back. Only one new antibiotic class discovered since the 1980s. So, yeah. Not much there. We dried up our antibiotic talent pipeline faster than Bollywood dried up good movie scripts. Yeah. So but not everything is lost. There are still some things that is going in favor of us. There is bacteriophage therapy. Phages saved a man with a 100% fatal infection in 2016, used in Georgia and Poland for decades. Phages are microscopic hitmen and they only kill the bacteria on their hit list. So basically, these are viruses that kill bacteria and they don't harm your cells or your DNA or whatever. So they only target what they need to target and you feel okay. Yeah, that's very good news. Thank you. Finally, good news. Yeah. CRISPR, gene editing tools. Scientists can now target specific antibiotic resistant genes and cut them. Yeah, so basically, these are katanas that you swing so that you can damage those bacteria. hopefully, to weaken them. AI designed antibiotics. In 2019, AI discovered Halicin, a completely new antibiotic. Yes, the robots are discovering antibiotics now. Let's hope they stay on our side. Imagine they discover something and they're like, yeah, this is your treatment. Yeah, you're gonna feel a lot better of taking it, but yeah, they are not. Right after that, you're feeling sick and all the humanity goes to shit. Vaccines. Preventing infections means reducing antibiotic use. Better hygiene plus global policy. These are all things that are under our control, so we can do a bit to make sure that this crisis doesn't actually becomes a global pandemic. What you can do to avoid all of this? Well, you can use clean water and use proper hospital sanitation, antibiotic stewardship, regulated agricultural use. It's not rocket science, it's hygiene, but apparently rocket science is easier. Superbugs aren't coming, they're already here and they're evolving faster than we are. But this isn't a hopeless story. We built antibiotics, we built resistance, and we can build the solutions. And if you survived my whistling intro, you can survive the truth.